Hello, everyone. Fuck it. Skip the intro. We've been gone for too long. Let's just get straight to the point. I've been a lazy fuck. I'm gonna say it right away. I have not been, I have not been on point with this shit. And funny thing is, this is something that I wanted to do since the beginning. So I take all fault for not being here. So fuck the intro. I'm just gonna introduce everyone. You all know who I am. I'm the host of this podcast, Lord Louie. With us, we have some new people. Spade, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yo, what's poppin', everybody? My name is Spade, aka Deshaun Davis in the real world. I'm currently 19. You know what I'm saying? Living in Fort Worth City, in the state of Texas. I lived here all my life. Pretty much my main occupations consist of me, you know what I'm saying? Doing the normal stuff, talking about the things I love, like Sonic the Hedgehog, playing video games, you know, trying to make it work, make it poppin'. And I'm glad to be here with you guys. Thanks for having me, Louie.
All right, Kobani 45. All right, Tom, who are you?
I am Tom. I am Canadian, and I am a retard.
Sorry about that, mate. All right, Voshi or Moshi, who are you? Who are you?
I go by Voshi. I like to draw, talk about Sonic. That's all y'all need to know about me.
All right, these are the fucking newcomers, and maybe might stay with us. Our lovely folks that have been with us. Doggy couldn't make it with us today. Our lovely folks, Red, Connor, Lee, Kaya, or Pyra. You know, there they are. They're lovely, great artists. Red's the one who made me the profile picture. Thank you. And is also going to be the guy who's going to be promoting our stuff and also editing most of the things of, for instance, titles and etc. So, our topic, and we're most likely going to be unoriginal fucks, but hey, let's ride the hype train while it's still hot. Sonic Forces. The Sonic Forces.
That's gay.
It's a game that's very diverse. I fall into the category of disappointed, but also it could be worse, I guess, in some cases. I mean,
fuck that.
I'm pretty unforgiving on some things, but also I do like see what it tried on some things, because I won't say that it's a complete shit show of a. Well, actually, I can, but I can say that it's a decent game. Since I'm not a cunt, and I'm not a fucking attention whore. Let's start off with the fucking beginners first. Spade, you go first on your opinions.
Okay, so as a man that's been in the Sonic the Hedgehog scene for literally approximately over 15 years of my lifespan, I can say for a fact that I wasn't exactly too pleased with the result on how Sonic Forces was. Now, granted, it's not as bad as something like Sonic the Hedgehog 06. I wouldn't go as far as say that, but it's mind-boggling if you think about it. Like, yeah, the nonsensical thing to do would be to compare it to games like Mario Odyssey and Sonic Mania, but Sonic Mania realistically kind of killed the hype for the game. Like, I mean, I was just excited to get a new modern Sonic game. I wasn't like everybody else. I'm like, oh, we're getting a new modern Sonic. It's going to be the best thing ever. No. I was just happy that Sega was going to once again give us another chance at the 3D Sonic the Hedgehog formula. And it's baffling because it's been 4 years in development. And yet they give us something that doesn't feel finished. It doesn't feel completed. And yet you have a bunch of fans outdo you in something that you've been known for doing best. Like, it really makes me question on what type of direction Sonic Team is going to head and the future for Sonic the Hedgehog as a whole, because
Sega
Sonic
does with Nintendo.
Yeah, Nintendo does what Sega won't. but honestly, they really need to get their game up, because Mario is fucking stomping the hell out of Sonic in the gaming scene right now, and I don't want to see that. But I have to face the truth.
Ooh.
But if overall it wasn't the worst thing ever, I don't want to be like an attention whore, so I'll get into a little bit of detail like when it comes back to me. But yeah, I kind of felt I felt half empty after I finished the game. I'll be honest.
All right. What good? Thanks, Spade, for explaining your opinion and why you dislike the game or find it quite disappointing compared to most modern Sonic games. Um, I plan. Okay. So a little heads up, guys. I plan on doing something kind of new for this. Because I don't want it just to be like, oh, you say this, you say that, you say that. All right, goodbye. Final. Done. Episode's done. What I want to do is nearly the end, we just kind of like free talk and like just discuss random shit. Be like act fucking be like mellow about the shit, but also while keep maintaining the conversation. And I can hear your okay, whose kid is that?
That's my little sister. I'm sorry. I'm gonna try to
Bored
keep it down.
them.
It's all right. I want to say, fucking. All right, so Tom, you go.
Alright. I felt like Sonic Forces was just like really garbage. I refunded it the day I got it because I beat it the day I got it, and it was just a huge letdown. Nothing really new, something that everyone could predict. Like, oh, we think the main character's dead. Nope, just kidding, he's not. And I forget what I'm gonna say, but.
I love that. I mean, oh shit, excuse me. Well, you can't really think much more for what to say about Forces, right?
Yeah, it's just I don't remember much.
All right. Now that you're done, I guess. Moshi, what are your honest opinions?
My honest opinion about I can't even say the name, is kind of sad. It's the fact that they made a really small game. It's just I expected more from it, considering they were going to introduce a new character such as Infinite.
Sorry.
And there was going to be more backstory. No, there's going to be more backstory on him. I can't. I don't know. It's really simple as well. I can't really say much about it. That's how bad it was for me. I apologize.
It's all right. I mean, it's your opinion, so it doesn't really, you don't really have to like completely like praise the game for what it is. I mean, if that's the case, then Sega would just be spewing out the same old trite over and over again, and it won't feel refreshing. I mean, I guess my opinions will come out to me now, I guess, the host and everything. But I was gonna say is, what I honestly feel about it is that I'm very disappointed in it due to the fact that I was really hoping it to be something better. I was really hoping it to actually finally, step up its game, finally, like, do what was wrong and fix that. I didn't want another. I wanted them to like do stuff. I mean, heads up for you guys. If you're gonna hear me, you're gonna hear me say a lot of things like Sonic Unleashed. That's because Sonic Unleashed is one of my favorite Sonic games, like in the entire series itself, because I genuinely enjoyed the hell out of that game. Hold up. Hold up.
You're excused.
Sorry, I got a really bad cough. What I was
You're fine.
what I was gonna say though is that I was really hoping that it was due to the fact that the series is good, like from the trailers and everything, they were gonna make the whole game, like they were probably gonna get somebody who could write a story that was both comedic but also kept the dark tones, like Sonic Unleashed did. Because Unleashed, like, to me, it had a bit tension because it was comedic where Eggman was, he was a buffoon, but at the same time was serious about his plans. And remind you, in that game he was smart enough to manage to take Super Sonic, away from Sonic and revert him into this primalistic form that he never chose to be. And for God's sakes, he literally fucked up the entire planet. The stakes couldn't be any more higher. It felt like a game that actually you had to race against time, otherwise everything would be doomed. With Forces, they decided to mess everything up with just getting a writer, the colors writer to do a story that's pretty lackluster. And the worst part was they focused too much on Infinite just to give us a really piss poor villain with a really shitty motive, a really bad backstory. Like, Jesus Christ, he's a fucking child. He literally makes Broly's backstory look like a really deep, like a deep plot. The most I could say is get rid of the guy who does the color story. It's the colors of writing. He's not that great. His comedy isn't that good. I get that the game is supposed to be for kids, but come on, man. Like do stuff like Disney. Be comedic, but be comedic in a way where it can appeal for both adults and kids. So the game would be fun, and don't make the game just a fucking roller coaster of boosting, because that's just gonna be boring. Make the stages feel unique and different and vibrant, and feel like you can have open movement that isn't just hold down the square button and move forward. That's most I gotta say right now. I'll explain more like afterwards how much I genuinely dislike some stuff like the. Oh, and real quick, I do not like the character creation. I really honestly thought he was kind of irrelevant, and I really think that they really could have done better with the character, like some of the things with the character create. Because I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't always against it. I really was like hyped for the character creation thing. I really wanted it, but the way they pulled it off was pretty bad. So now that I'm done, I don't want to fucking hog up the time. God knows how it is. Yes, Lee.
Can I say something? Can I say something? Speak about Infinite right quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Speaking of Infinite, like how Louis mentioned, I gotta say something. Oh boy, where did I begin? This character is just like, okay. For some reason, I was on DeviantArt the other day, just like a picture of Infinite. I just keep scrolling until I see like just people shipping their OC with Infinite. Listen, I get that people like this character, but come on, do you really need to go that far? Infinite focuses so much on being stronger or something, like strongest being for some reason. I don't think you focus on dating or whatnot. Like, I mean, bruh. Just...
if I may, since we're on the subject of Infinite now, for me, that was probably one of my main driving forces of the game. Because for me, I am a huge fan of the Archie comic Sonic series. I know a lot of people don't read them because they are saying, oh, it's filled to the brim with Son Alley romance, which isn't true. But, but it's just a fact. I wasn't expecting Infinite to have the caliber of a villain like Interjack. Like, I wasn't expecting that. But at the same time, I was expecting more. And honestly, the biggest, like, Sega kind of failed themselves in a way, because I said this before. Sonic Forces was an attempt to please every single Sonic fan from all angles. And I said, before the game even released, that if that is exactly what they're trying to do, then they already failed. Because I'm under the philosophy to where it's just for me, but you cannot please the entire Sonic the Hedgehog fan base. You can't do it. It's not possible. Like, it's too segregated. You have a group of people that are fond of the classic series. You got a group of people that love the adventure formula, like myself. And then you have the people that love holding down the square button to do literally everything, which is just fine. But it's literally the fact that with Infinite, it was the fact that if you're going to make him the main thing, like if you're going to advertise him as much as you do, like with the song, the promotional art, like if you're going to do all of that, then make it worthwhile, and it just seems like it's like somebody that had so much potential. Like, and again, this goes back to them having 4 years of development. Like, a lot of people can say that, oh, well, it's just a Sonic game. Well, there have been Sonic games that have been released under a faster time constraint and has handled stories better. Like, for me, I'm a huge fan of the adventure games. I still think those have some of the best stories in the series to date, but that's just my opinion. But it's just the fact that with Infinite, you had 4 years. You were marketing him as much as you does. It doesn't make sense that the story amounts to, oh, Shadow kicked his ass, so now I gotta become a better person. And even then, I would have accepted episode Shadow if they would have built upon that. if the whole purpose of Sonic Forces in the main game is Infinite's conquest to rise and be powerful than literally everybody, I would have been okay with that. But they didn't take that route. So it's like, what's the point of making Infinite as your driving force along with the story if you're not gonna deliver? I didn't understand that, but yeah, Infinite could have been so much more. However, I do really enjoy the song.
I'd like to agree on that as well. Like, why would you fucking advertise the character so much if you're just gonna let us down on like basically his backstory and shit? Like, the only reason why he wears a mask is because basically Shadow told him to. So he's basically Shadow's bitch.
And the thing,
Which is, in my opinion, not very fucking good in my eyes.
yeah.
Maybe to a little 5-year-old, but not to me.
And okay, so one thing I gotta say real quick, let Kaya continue her part. It was really unnecessary for the mask thing, like for him to like not show his face in game. Really, it just comes down to he has a normal face. Now, if there was something like he had a deformity, like how Kaya made a really cool looking, well, actually more of a like fucked up like design for like Infinite, where his like half of his face is just completely just melted like Two-Face from Batman. It was a really good design, and it makes sense considering it's covering like the one side of Infinite's mask is like literally blackened and the other one is like it shows his eye. Makes sense for him to wear a mask there. So I think honestly they should have done something where he's battle scarred. Now continue, Kaya.
Yeah, like, in all honesty, like, alright, I have no problem with the character design, but when like you don't see his like when you see his face without the mask, it's just a complete letdown. Because I like honestly hoped that his face would be fucked to all hell, because hopefully I was expecting them to do more with the fight with Shadow, but they didn't, which was also a letdown. But I would expect after getting to a fight like that, his face was fucked. So as Louis said, how I basically like did this cool well, I'm not gonna say cool because it's not see I could have done better. But when I did the design for Infinite, I was really hoping that would be how he looked, not just like normal with like one little white scar over his like, I think it's his left eye. That was pretty lame, and it was also a letdown. So maybe I'm not the best person to be talking to about this, because like literally everything in that game for me was a letdown.
It's alright to think if the game was a letdown, trust me.
You okay?
No, he's dying.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay.
No, the show's got to go on, bro. We got it.
It's okay.
Okay, well, I mean, to like follow up now, I mean, I can go on all day about how I wanted the story, to be, but that didn't happen. So there really is no point in like harping on that subject. But now, in my honest opinion, to summarize Sonic Forces for me, it's a bad game that you can still have fun with, at least for the moment. But it doesn't really give you any reason to go back to it. Like after you beat the game, you really don't have any reason to go back to it. And plus, for any completions that might be salivating out there, this is not Donkey Kong Country, okay? There is nothing for you to look forward to in completing this game. You get an achievement, and that's it. So literally,
goddamn.
So literally, after you beat the game, it's not worth it. And even some of the most open-minded Sonic fans that out there in the community, like Obama Mighty 456 himself, even says that the game is just average. And like, it's really, I mean, it's mediocre. But my thing is that I'm tired. I don't know about the rest of the Sonic fans. I can't speak for them, but I'm tired of accepting mediocrity as something that's okay. Like, Sonic is not known for being mediocrity. When it came to Sonic 1, 2, 3, and Knuckles, and even the recent Mania, that was not mediocre. Those were really fucking good games. The standard needs to be set higher for modern Sonic, because modern Sonic can be good. He really can. Like, I mean, like, one thing, okay, my things is, one, don't bring classic Sonic in a modern game. Don't do that. Like I get it that
I
classic
forgot his existence was there for that to begin with.
I get that everybody likes classic Sonic. I get it, but the thing is that you're harping on nostalgia too much. Like, I know I'm sounding like a oldie and like a Sonic fanboy or whatnot, but can I have the Sonic team back from that made Nights into Dreams or Sonic Adventure or Adventure 2? Because at least Sega had imagination back then. But it's like now, like, come on, man, leave classic Sonic to Christian Whitehead. They know how to perfect the Sonic 2D formula. Sonic Team does not. They need to focus on what made Modern Sonic good to begin with and develop upon that and make it better. You know, I don't care what style it is. You can keep the boost formula. You can have the fucking parkour from Lost World back. I actually really like that. Or you can, you know, do the adventure thing again. I think I already said that. But like, do anything. But focus on Modern Sonic. But don't bring classic Sonic into another game, because in Forces, he literally had no relevance to the plot whatsoever, except extremely annoying ass levels.
Let's talk about Iron Fortress real quick. Oh god. That level.
I was just gonna say real quick, I mean, for those who haven't spoken to this episode right now, because they've been pretty quiet, because we've been basically ragging on the game. Connor, you're a bit of an optimist towards you know, Forces, right?
Yeah.
And Red.
I gotta sit up.
All right, Red. If you're there, speak up. You're a bit of an optimist as well towards Forces, right?
Yes, but first Connor can go and speak.
All right, you go.
Okay. Hold on a second. We'll stretch for a
Wait,
second.
I gotta say something quick. Oh, sorry guys. I
Okay.
hear it's coming. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
All right,
Bye.
So,
later.
honestly, I enjoyed Sonic Forces. I found the game to be a little fun at times, of course. I obviously love the custom character and, you know, the modern Sonic levels, especially freaking Egg Gate. I love the hell out of that stage. Because, like, the Egg Gate as, like, modern Sonic is, like, the freaking...
Touche. I like that stage too.
It is really, like, you're like escaping. It's like escaping from the Death Egg. It's like cool. Like, oh. And then, like, freaking my favorite custom character stage is obviously fucking Spaceport, because, you know, the music's lit, but I've also grown to like Metropolis a little more. Even though the level design can be confusing at times. I absolutely hate the classic Sonic levels. I'm not even joking when I say that. They're just fucking irritating as hell. Like, Iron Fortress, I know that's like the final classic Sonic
Oh
level.
my gosh.
Holy shit. I hate that level, but I love the music. And who puts auto-scrolling in a fucking Sonic game?
I mean, they haven't did that shit since what? The Game Gear?
Like, what? As Spade previously said, you know, leave like classic Sonic out of modern Sonic games. Like, you know, that's just a given. You know, that's not his games. His games are, you know, 1, 2, 3, and Knuckles, and Mania, and CD. You know.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think that, you know, the episode Shadow DLC, you know, it kind of, like, makes a little sense, but at times, like, I love how they did, like, all these, like, nostalgic, like, remixes or something, and I'm, like, sitting here, like, listening to, like, the first stage's music, like, and I'm just in awe, and I'm just like, whenever I hear, like, Metropolis mixed with, like, or no, hold on, no, that's Westopolis, shit. Westopolis mixed with, like, Radical Highway, I'm just sitting here like, this is my fucking childhood. Like,
I'm gonna be honest. I played Shadow the Hedgehog and Adventure 2 when I was like 6 or something, and I love those two games. I don't care.
I'm not gonna disown you for that, but considering the fact that I do like Shadow, both ironically and unironically.
Yeah, I like Shadow the Hedgehog too.
I don't.
Oop. Also played Heroes, and I thought that game was brilliant. I even remember like playing with my cousin Logan and like Sonic Heroes, and you know, we would just verse each other. Same in like Adventure 2 and all, and Shadow the Hedgehog. But I think the Shadow the Hedgehog thing was like a one-time thing. But aside from all of that, what are my true opinions on Sonic Forces? I think that it is better than most modern Sonic games. I think it's better than the entire Boom series. I think it's better than
That's kind of an easy one
Colors.
to beat, dude.
I know.
I mean,
That's no
well,
contest.
okay. I have something. I
'Cause,
have
like-
something different to say about that. But go ahead.
I think it's better than Colors. Unleashed, I would say it's a little behind Unleashed, but you know, what are you gonna do? Still, classic Sonic games are probably like the best in the series, but you know,
I agree.
there's like a few, you know, there's people who like the games just for the gameplay and then like the games for the cheesy story. That's what made Adventure 2 and 1 so memorable, because, you know, the story and a little bit of the gameplay. Because when you combine those two elements together, they can truly make a good game.
Except for
But if you make the story lackluster, but the gameplay is kind of then that altogether makes, you know, a less of a game. Like, you'd better be like, I mean, I think Sonic Forces is, you know, brilliant, honestly. But if I had to choose to like 1 to 10, I'd probably like put it at like maybe an 8 or a 7.5, because, you know, no matter like how many bad games, you know, Sonic has gone through, you know, he always manages to make it through to our hearts, you know, in the Sonic fandom. And sorry, I was talking to my cousin. But that's pretty much all I have to say. Like, you know, he's always gonna like have some bad games like freaking 06, and then have like some good games like Unleashed, and then he's gonna have his like spin-off games like Sonic freaking Riders Zero Gravity, which is my favorite, just like one of my favorite racing games. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say.
All right.
Okay, so oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, I mean, like, we're kind of, well, you go first with your opinions, and then we'll go straight to Red, because, like, yeah, of course, we need a bit of an optimist as well,
Yeah.
another optimistic view, considering, like I said, we're just ragging on this shit.
Yeah, okay. Now, I can be optimistic, because as much as I was dissatisfied about it, now for me, I'm under the philosophy to where if I don't like a game, I don't have a reason to see it all the way through. Like with Sonic Colors on the Wii, I could not play that game for the life of me. I don't have anything against people who do like it, but the thing is that I feel the same thing about Unleashed as well, even though I played all the way through Unleashed. I look at stuff like Sonic the Werehog and the Wisp and stuff like that, and I was like, okay, I see the ambition and I don't mind it, but this isn't really needed. Like, I always looked at it like, why is this here? I looked at the custom character in the same way, like, this is not bad, but why is this here? Like, I mean, I don't really understand. Like, if they took it out, I think honestly those games would have been better, or maybe I think those games would have been better if they didn't have them. But I do appreciate the gimmicks, and people do like the Wisp and the Werehog and stuff. So everybody's to their own opinions. But with Sonic Forces, it's not the worst game ever. I did manage to beat it, and it was pretty easy. There were some things that I didn't like, come on, bro. The last Infinite boss fight is just Metal Sonic, like all over again. Like, there's no excuse for that. You could have did something with that. Like, there was that. My favorite Avatar level by far has to be. That's a hard one. I do like Space War a lot because of the music. I actually love all. I think my favorite Avatar level is Park Avenue, because Jesus Christ, I was so addicted to that song when I first heard it. But because I'm a huge fan of Sonic and the Secret Rings, and that soundtrack is mostly vocals, so that's probably a reason why. As far with modern Sonic, yeah, I would say that Egg Gate is like the best level in the game. It would have been Mortar Canyon. Only problem is that they didn't really do much with it. It was just this huge ass space, and you can fucking fly through like Superman. So, I mean, if they would have added more to it, it would have been probably the best modern Sonic stage. But since they didn't, it's not. But like with like the story and everything, for me, it's not a deal breaker. It could have been better, of course, but I mean, people don't really play Sonic games for the story, and maybe if they do, then they don't expect much. Like, if I want story, I'll go read the comics, you know what I mean? So it's not a huge deal. But like in the subject of Boom, a lot of people like to shit on Boom and say that it's the worst thing ever. I would argue and say that it's not. Yeah, Rise of Lyric is, not that great of a game, and Shattered Crystal, while it had some questionable design choices, could be still enjoyed if you came into it with an open mind. Like, Sonic Boom is not the worst thing out there. And me personally, I actually like Sonic Boom more than actual modern Sonic, being real with you. Like, I like the universe, I like the characterization of the characters. Boom Eggman is best Eggman to me. But it's just that I think that Sonic Boom as a brand is hugely successful. We're possibly going to get like a third season in the TV series, and the TV series is hilarious.
Boom Amy.
And Amy, Boom Amy is like the best characterization of Amy we've seen in the series. So it's not the worst thing out there. It has flaws, but I think people have been beating it like a dead horse because of Rise of Lyric, and I don't really think that's fair to it. But I'm gonna talk about Sonic Boom a little later. But but with Sonic Forces, it's like I did have a little bit of fun with it. It did have its fair share of some good levels. But my problem was that just when the levels seemed to be getting good, it automatically ended. Like, it was just over. Like, when I'm thinking, like, oh, damn, like, we're about to get into the deep Def Egg. We're about to get to some deep shit. Or, like, with Shadow the Hedgehog. Like, when I heard the Biolizard remix, I was like, oh, am I going to fight the Biolizard again? Holy crap, I haven't seen this motherfucker since Adventure 2. But, like, no, they didn't do that. And it's like, it's a lot of missed potential. Like, but at the same time, if I didn't like the game, I would have put it down the second I beat the first level. So, it's not the worst thing out there. However, I say the same thing, and to people who haven't played the game yet, don't come into Sonic Forces expecting the same level of quality from previous games, because you're gonna get disappointed.
Yeah.
But is it the worst thing ever? No. There is some fun to be had with it, as long as you're willing to, as long as you have some patience and an open mind.
It's time for Red's opinion because of him being quiet for most of the fucking episode.
Yeah, oops, sorry.
It's all right. Red, what do you have to say that could be like, a good argument or opposing argument towards our views of the game and how we honestly feel about it?
Okay, so I'm probably one of like either few or like most other people on this call who hasn't indeed played Sonic Forces, even though I have the game on Steam, but unfortunately I do not have a PC. And yes, I know it is really weird for me to be a teenager who is into social media and stuff like that and not have a PC in 2017, but you know what, life is kind of like that. But me, I thought that, like, I'd be honest, I liked Forces, and yes, okay, like me, I'm with like I feel like if you've watched a game a lot, then you can have opinions about the game. Maybe not the gameplay so much, but maybe if you've seen enough videos, and like maybe you can get a feel with the gameplay. As far as like like how the control, I can't talk about that at all. It seems like it's pretty off, especially with classic Sonic, and the fact that like modern Sonic jump is pretty heavy when like simple jumps that were made easily before are just kind of like you just gotta drop and just fall to platform.
Oh yeah, no idea.
Me, to be honest, I liked Forces. Like the soundtrack is pretty cool. I haven't listened to like all of it, but like I knew like I'll do like some of these songs that are pretty cool. As far as the visual, I think the game looks very, very nice. I love the visuals. I love the fact that like this is like the Hedgehog engine too, and like people like people like it's the common misconception that like this game was in development in 4 years. It wasn't. The engine was made in 3 years, and like the game took 1 year, and it kind of took a little bit to cram everything in because Sonic Mania came out in it came out this year, and it also had the Phantom Ruby, so they kind of had to like cram like certain aspects into it. That's probably why they didn't have much time. But it might be an excuse, and I know like games can be created in a shorter time. Like take the Crash Bandicoot series, like only had like a year for like 1, 2, and 3, and those games were praised.
Because it was actually done pretty well.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. So I'm not gonna like do anything. It's like you can like make a good game in like a month. Like take this is probably unrelated to Sonic in general, but like the fan-made sequel to the Yo Noid NES game, Yo Noid 2, which is essentially like a platformer in the form of like a PlayStation game with the visuals and stuff like that. That was made in a month, and it's a really good game. But it's like I liked Forces. I like the music. I like the graphics. As far as like the linear game design, yes, I do understand that, and there could be more. As far as people complain about like the whole like boost to win gameplay, it's kind of been like that since Rush, where you're just like blazing through everything. Yes, there is platforming element, and yes, they do like have a little bit of that in Forces, where it's like sometimes they try to do a little bit of platforming, and I do appreciate the effort when they do that. But it's like as far as like holding the boost button, it's like they've been doing that for a while. It's like in Sonic Rush, you're just boosting through everything and doing the tricks and just going through loops and stuff like that. It's like it's people love going fast to Sonic games, and like I don't think that's personally like should be the emphasis of it. It was like marketed like that back in the 90s, but it was never like truly the emphasis of it. It was the fact that like speed was more of like something that you like got as like you progressively learn how to play the level. It was like a reward for like learning how to play the game, and if you were really good at the game, you'd be fast and you'd blaze through every single thing. As far as like Sonic games being fast, I mean like I like Sonic games to just be solid platformers and just be fun to play. Like take Mania, like the classic series, or something else like that, or like take Unleashed, where it's like or Unleashed, or like Generations of Colors, where like they had like boost gameplay, where they had elements of going fast, but they also had something as far as level design, like as far as like platforming and other things like running on water and trying not to like drown and stuff like that. They really had cool mechanics, and I really do appreciate that. But like Forces, I think it's pretty fine. Yes, it is short. Yes, it is very linear, but I feel like it was like a little bit of an experimentation of what they can do with the Hedgehog engine 2, and a little bit of like what really works, because
this was the Hedgehog engine 2?
Yeah, the game was made in.
Fuck me! Why didn't they just make it with the same guy, the same crew with Unleashed?
Because that engine was literally only really designed for the Xbox 360. You know, the PS3 has like much more frame drops.
And yeah, I know. I own the PS3 version, but like I mean, like I don't mean like gameplay wise. Well, of course I also mean gameplay wise as well. But I mean like when I mean like what I mean by Unleashed, I meant that they could have just gone the crew back to work on the game, considering they weren't that bad.
Get to that. It was like it's like I feel like Sonic Team was like kind of like running out of ideas, because it's like Sonic has like kind of been experimenting for a while now, like ever since the classic days. Like take Labyrinth, or like Tails Adventure. Like there's a bunch of spin-off games that try to experiment and see like what Sonic can do. Now that it's like in like 2017, it's come to light, and it's been seen lots of times, and most of the experiments have come to failure. The fans have grown up. People have gotten much angrier with the experimentation, and it's just like they're trying it again, but they're trying to see what they can do from like the best. That's why like the first review trailer said like from the people that bought you Sonic Colors and Generations. Yes, people got mad about that because like only like maybe like 1 or 2 or 3 people from like the olden games like actually got to do it, which I'll get to later. But it's like they were trying to see what worked. They were trying to put classic Sonic in because people really like classic Sonic and they want to see what they can do. It wasn't executed. It wasn't executed very well. It was actually executed very poorly. The classic Sonic levels and Generations were like meh. It was kind of like oh, I don't really want to do this. I just want to get to like the fast stuff. It's like when I first played Generations, that game was too fast for me. I just could not handle it. I was like literally not like I just could not handle fucking speed in that game, and it was pretty funny. But it's like over time I got used to it, and I honestly wish I never traded the game in, but unfortunately I did trade the game because I was like, oh, I want to trade more games so I can get more games. It's not gonna work. GameStop only gives you like $2 or something like that, so yeah, they're pretty cheap bastards. But it's like
this is why I recommend Book Off. If you find a Book Off in your mall, go over there. They at least give you a little more money with that shit.
Okay. It's like so they try to like experiment and see what could work. The main emphasis, which I feel like in the story and the gameplay, is the custom character. While he may control a little bit weird from what I hear, and like the fact that like he can't like really drift, it's like I feel like he, she, they. I'm sorry for misgendering.
Ooh,
them like
you're gonna piss off somebody with that.
Shut up. Anyways, they play fine. I like the grappling hook. I like the fact that they're able to do that. I got really big Attack on Titan vibes when they took down one of the robots like that. But I think it plays pretty cool. But it's like they were trying to like really experiment and see what could work because people didn't really like Lost World. People hated Sonic Boom. People didn't really like the world. Like there are like very few things. Like Sonic Team is kind of like in like kind of like a Lost World. It's like there's this side where it's like you can't please the Sonic fan base, and there's this side where it's like, hey, you have this one thing now, just do a little bit more with it. I remember like watching a video by Some Call Me Johnny, my favorite YouTuber of all time. It's like he made like a little bit of like an unscripted speech at the end of his Sonic Forces. He was just saying that he feels like the current Sonic team, I feel like it's just kind of like they've just been drained creatively. It's like they've been doing this thing for a long time and they kind of don't know what to do. He suggested that like people just, if there's something that people love on modern Sonic, it was always the adventure games. Those were something that were like almost like generally praised, and like people, if they don't like them, it's either because like they think the games have aged, or like they're just kind of being trolls. But it's like people really like that game the most. People always reference those games when it comes to like games that like most people like, except for like Colors of Generations or something like that, or Unleashed. But it's like he suggested that like the Sonic team like get some new people. Like you already saw what like Christian Whitehead could do with Mania and him and like Bulldog OS Games and like everybody else who was on board. They did a fantastic job because they knew what worked. They grew up with these games. Like they like played them religiously. They've made ROM packs for like since like you could even make those things. So they know what they were doing. They knew the heart and soul of the Sonic franchise, and they did a really good job. Like Sonic Mania brought everybody back. Like people who I thought never touched Sonic in their lives, like they play. Like take Game Grumps, like Aaron, like one of the people who kind of kickstarted the whole like, oh hey, hate Sonic as a school thing. He loved the Mania. Unfortunately, they kind of like never, as far as I'm aware, I don't think they ever completed the playthrough, which kind of bothered me because it's hey, like the game, so complete it. But it's like they loved the game. It was like, oh hey, I remember playing Sonic 1 on Thanksgiving. It's like, hey, this game is so hard. It's like people. They loved it. People say, hey, I remember that level. I was like, wow, I didn't expect people would be Sonic fans. But that was one of the things I couldn't forget. Sonic was very popular in the 90s, and the fact that like Sonic Mania is kind of something that may or may not happen once in a lifetime, but it's like it brought lots of people back, and maybe they can do it again with modern Sonic, where people like they can bring back the love, they can bring back the nostalgia. Like they tried to, like to be honest, like I saw like a video about this by some guy named Billiam. He made like a video about Sonic 06. He was saying that they tried to do lots of adventure nostalgia in Sonic 06, believe it or not. But the thing is though, it was 2006, only like a few, like 5 years after like the adventure games came out. The fans haven't really grown to see like, oh hey, this is like a a cult status and like the nostalgia, like take the Orca or like how the game played, it was way too early and it didn't really like do well because of that. They tried to do nostalgia in that game, but it didn't really work considering the fact that like it was too early. But now it's like these games are like almost 20 years old. I feel like it's like time to give them some love as far as gameplay goes, and like people just really enjoy them. People are like maybe like, oh hey, this isn't good, or like hey, this isn't good, or hey, this is good. But it's like people generally like those games, and I feel like Sonic,
Yeah.
Sega or Sonic Team needs to like get some newer members who like have been growing up with like the games ever since they were young, so they know what they're talking about, they know what they love, and like they'll get a fine product. But as far as Sonic Forces, I like the game. I thought it was pretty cool. Like the custom character, they've grown on me. They really have. I love like, as far as like, and you may not be able to do a lot as far as like like the hair department, like where like take OC, like take mine, they have like hair, like where like they don't grow from like their head, like take spines or like Sonic. It's like they have like actual hair, like take Honey the Cat. You may not be able to do that really much, but it's like as far as what you can do, you can make some pretty cool / cute characters, and I really do appreciate the fact that what they did. I like the way they incorporated it into the story, and I really do like the way they had a character arc where it's like, oh hey, they like we were like originally a coward, but they end up like gone. It's like me, I've always thought of like Sonic as like a thing where it's like it brings everybody together as far as like the overall like cheesiness factor. It's like, oh hey, I know you can do it and stuff like that. Like how like people like kind of like doubt the custom character to begin with, and like Sonic is the one like actually motivates you and like do the fist bump and talk to you and stuff like that. I really do appreciate the fact that like I've seen a bunch of terrible fanfics about like OCX Sonic or something like that, where it's like they just completely bash on the character. But this is the one time where they were able to personify Sonic's character like correctly, and they were able to like bring in a custom character, one that you created, and like actually make an arc. It's like you can't have an edgy, overpowered character. They're all scared. They're all like it's just a kid just kind of thrown in a war situation. They almost died a few times because of like facing Infinite. But it's like eventually your character gets the courage to fight back, and eventually they end up saving the day, which I really do think is pretty cool. I think it's like the whole thing that like when Eggman like the whole thing with like Eggman like blowing up like the sun will fall on you all. I was like, oh my god, sun? Really? You gotta like first you blow up the half of the moon. And they like Sega says like, oh, like it's like the moon was blowing up, but like you only see a half, which is like really stupid. But then it's just like, oh hey, the sun is gonna blow everybody up. It's like, wow, it's pretty crazy. One thing I also have to praise, I like the voice acting in Sonic Forces, except for like maybe Silver, because like he's a little bit too quiet for some reason. But I do really like the voice actors. Like Shadow, I don't like him in Sonic Boom. As far as character and voice, I think he's stupid. He's dumb, stubborn, angry for no apparent reason. It's like that's like what some of the Phantom thinks Shadow is. He's really not like
a joke.
Oh,
Shadow's going through a phase.
I had something like to input on that. Like I'm gonna make this very brief. But Sonic Boom, that's why I love Sonic Boom so much, because it is literally a parody of the good and the bad things about Sonic the Hedgehog as a whole. The show is a cohesive joke. That's what it is. Like I love how Sticks or Sonic or maybe Knuckles is so self-aware of the crap that goes on politically in the world, or with the Sonic franchise as a whole. Like it makes you feel like that even the characters,
even Amy,
even Amy, they know how crappy their fan base can be at times, and the developers know this, and they take advantage of it, and they poke fun at it, and for comedic purpose, it works.
I know. And one thing I do, it's like I love Sonic Boom for that. It's like I haven't like watched lots of the cartoon. It's like I remember like I was like really super hyped when they announced it. It's like I haven't seen too much episodes. I've only seen like a little bit to like make high quality GIFs for people. But it's like season two, I haven't seen much of it because I really don't like the wonky animation in season 2. It's garbage. Like Sonic Boom season 1 was like praised for its animation. It got multiple awards and stuff like that. It was pretty cool. Season 2, it's like it's all wonky. Like take the season finale of season 2. It's like I really don't want to watch that episode because one, I know it's a joke. It's supposed to be like that, but it's just like I just kind of don't like Shadow and Sonic Boom, and I know the joke is not for me, and it's perfectly fine. Also, that like the whole fight is like I don't want to see that. Like one thing that's like one bothered me in Sonic Boom. Every single time somebody gets hit, it's always a white flash, and I hate when like cartoons and stuff like that do that. Not so much the fact that the whole thing has wonky animations. So I'm like, I don't want to watch it.
Censorship is a bitch, and it's kind of been doing that for a while. Like in most cartoons, where they kind of don't show punches. Like, I'm pretty sure the animated series with its only 2 punch limit shit. They never really like when they threw a punch. I think it only went to white, like because most of the time, fucking Spider-Man the animated series, it was just tackling. Other things that done censorship like that was like, and I know this is off track, but like games like the HD version of Budokai 3 from Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, fucking Broly's ultimate attack, which it revolves him slamming a dude's head into the ground, instead of just showing him slamming it to the ground, which there's no blood, there's no like his like as soon as he slams him, like their brains are splattered all over. There's none of that crap. It's just he slams them to the ground and then he shoots them with like an energy beam. But for some reason, as soon as he slams, the screen goes white. And also, one thing I gotta say, Red, if there's one thing I didn't like what they did with Sonic's character, which kind of shows that the story was rushed, they didn't have like a story arc of him trying to like cope with the fact that he was tortured for literally, how many months was it? I forgot the months to be exact.
6 months.
6 months. Being tortured, especially even if it's for 6 months, can change a person or could fuck up their personality in general. What could have been good was, even if they didn't change him completely, I would have enjoyed at least that if he came out, he was at least trying to like be a bit happy, but at the same time you can notice that something is bugging him, something isn't right about him. He's like he's acting a bit odd. I would enjoy that, like if eventually he finally like, you know, came to the fact that, you know, it's been like, you know, he's dealt with the pain, but it's finally over, and then he actually has to, you know, go through it. And even if it was like, even if it would be cheesy where like all his friends cheer him up and like, you know, motivate him more, it would have been even great if the you know what would have made the custom character do even better? You know how Sonic was motivating him throughout the entire game, right, Red?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
think about it. You know how I just said that all of his friends were just motivating him? What if the custom character was the final person to give him that boost to move forward? That would have actually made the character. That would have made the character more relevant, in my opinion, because that would have gave him a purpose, and it would have also put their story arcs intertwined, and it would have shown that Sonic did affect massively to the custom character. I mean, I'm not saying that Sonic wasn't like a key factor to his story, but it would have shown that the character has grown and that he won't let it, you know, he won't let the same thing happen to, you know, the person who taught him.
Yeah, one moment, if I may speak. I know I can go on for quite a while about this sort of stuff, so I apologize.
Which is a good thing.
But for me, to quote Digi Valentine, one of my favorite YouTubers of all time, it's the Sonic the Hedgehog series. Continuity and character development is a bitch to find here. But you see, the thing is, for me in Sonic Forces, is that I personally don't see that. I wouldn't go as far as saying that Sonic really developed in that game, because he kind of didn't. You know, but that was also a main problem that I had with the game, was that the story couldn't take itself seriously. It was like the fact, oh, Sonic's been tortured for 6 months. Yeah, right. He's right over there. Just forgot about him. He's over there. He's good. But you see, the thing is that I don't get it now. This is coming from somebody that loves the Archie comics series, so take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. But the thing is that in Archie Sonic, yeah, sure, there was some times where he was having some conflict with Sally, or maybe that was that one time where everybody accused Sonic of killing Sally because of that one incident that happened.
I remember that.
Or he was labeled as a fugitive. You know.
Wait, hold on. I have a question.
Yeah.
Wait. When you say comics, you're talking about the good ones or Ken Penders?
Oh God.
I mean, just
Pen Kenders. I heard Pen Kenders.
Just
Who's
both.
speaking of
Just
Pen
both.
Kenders?
Like from the beginning, just the early comics, and then some of the newer ones. Like I like them all personally, but
If you don't get the cancer shit out of you.
the characterization with Sonic is that it was the fact that whatever Sonic was going through, you could see it through his emotions, through the way he was moving, through the way he was talking. Yeah, he was sarcastic, but you could see he was going through his shit. But with Sonic Forces, it's just the fact that like, oh, hey, Infinite, you're the new bad guy in town. Hey, what's your phone number? You know, stuff like that. I wouldn't be surprised if Sonic said something stupid like that.
He said like, let me see Infinite. Now we're getting to know each other.
Yeah,
what's your favorite color? Do you like long like with?
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, there's nothing wrong with it. Like, it is Sonic the Hedgehog. That is his character. Like, he likes to fuck around when things are serious. But at the same time,
like that
I feel like they kind of overdid it a little bit.
Yeah.
Because Sonic is the type of character like, oh, like I would prefer to joke around, but if I gotta get serious, then I'm gonna get serious. He did that before. He did it in Unleashed, Adventure, and other games.
Unleashed is a perfect one. As much as look, sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
I was gonna say I am a biased son of a bitch when it comes to Unleashed. That should be like people have Adventure, some have Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I have Unleashed. That game, I will defend the fuck out of that game to the
I will
ends
not
of the
defend the
fucking
fact that it
end.
has a fake Orbot.
Look, motherfucker, the shit was made before Orbot. Fuck you.
Fake Orbot. Fake Orbot.
Man, if I will smack the fuck out of you if I could.
Yeah, but
Fuck, bro.
Your lunch,
I can
sir.
see why you would defend it. Like, Unleashed is a good game. However, now, would I go as far as saying, like, I feel like people praise it a bit too much. Because it was like, yeah,
Praise.
It is a nice game. Don't get me wrong. But the thing is that it's not perfect.
I'm not gonna.
Hell no. Don't give me that, because there are some situations to where the level design can be complete asinine sometimes, where it's really weird. Or there's also that. Not to mention the fact that it can have performance issues on the PlayStation 3 version.
Yeah,
and,
but that's more of the fault on Sega's part for developing the fucking engine only for.
It's not really that bad. Like, as far as like the Werehog, while I didn't care for the gameplay too much, at least, you know, if I want to mindlessly button mash a button while beating up a bunch of enemies, I'll go play Streets of Rage. Thank you. Keep it out of my Sonic game.
Like, for me, like the Werehog shit, that doesn't bug me. I think it's more. I think I have like a tolerance for that shit because I played stuff like the original Devil May Cry trilogy, not that shitty one. I played like all 3 God of War
Devil
games.
May Cry 2 sucks.
Man, fuck you! I like that game. But I was gonna say though, well, for me, like here's the thing. The design for like the stage, Red. I wanted to bring you up. You know how you said that sometimes like people make the joke of, oh, you can just hold down the button, you basically win. Well, to be fair, someone actually did beat a stage by holding down the square button.
Yeah, I know that, but I'm just saying, like, okay,
you
like,
can't pull.
Okay, no. Here's the thing, though. I brought up the fact that, like, yes, I do understand and acknowledge that. But it's like, as far as like, I'm talking about like people saying the fact that like they didn't like the fact that like you just hold down the button. It's like, as far as like holding down the button, like you can actually win. I don't like that. But as far as holding down the button in general, people like complain about that. But it's just like boosting is not a bad thing.
I mean,
like,
generations. I held down the button, but I had some shit to move around.
It's not bad, but the thing is that for Sonic Forces, the boost to win philosophy doesn't really work. Because like in Luminous Forest, for example, you cannot hold the square button going through that and just expect to get through it. You will fall off of it and you will die. Like you have to move the analog and you have to turn Sonic manually while you're boosting. You know, you don't do as much in Generations or Unleashed, mind you, but you still have to do something. It's not literally hold the square button and everything is automated. Like I think that is a bit exaggerating a little bit.
Oh, by the way, if we're gonna continue with this boosting shit, can we like literally drop the fucking wisp? Like, it makes no sense at this point, considering it made sense. Okay, Kyan agrees with this shit, but look, let me tell you something. It made sense in Generations to a certain extent because it's supposed to be all of his games like in a collage, so it makes sense. It made sense and definitely made sense in Colors, but in Colors, it's implied that they're free and they don't have to be used by anybody anymore. But why are they still here captured in capsules when they're already free and Eggman knows that the plan just didn't go well if Sonic could just easily walk through and fucking steal a couple? It makes more sense if he just build it up by doing cool shit like, you know, fucking, like, you know, if he managed to, you know, fucking do tricks and shit. And it would have been more unique if the characters were able to build weapons specifically made for the, you know, for certain actions. Like, let's say, like, you know how there's a burst, which basically lets you jump up like a motherfucker, like do a bunch of multi-jumps. Well, you could have just made, you know, shoes that could do like multiple jumps, you know, you could have made like a drill type of weapon to go through instead of just using the drill.
Like, it's not even bad. Like, why don't they utilize Sonic's actual like friends? Like, why, like, Knuckles could act as the drill whiz, Tails could be used as like the hover whiz or something like that. Why don't you make use of the character's abilities? Like, why?
Yeah, and like fucking, you know, there's like characters all have their own specific abilities for, you know, performing different things. It would have made sense. Hey, would have been funny if they brought Big for fucking Cube.
Oh
Bro,
god.
please.
Cube comes in,
dude.
you activate the cube form, and all you hear is Froggy.
No, like you activate Cube and you just fucking Big the cat comes raining down from the heavens above.
Oh, like Snorlax
Oh,
and
they-
fucking
they have
Smash
to-
Brothers?
Yes.
No, they have to bring back the Easter egg where Big the Cat just walks in the background of the cutscenes.
Oh yeah, that would have been great. Or you can find them randomly in stages. By the way, alright, for that new segment I brought up, let's call it Screw Attack's Death Battle. No, I'm just kidding, because if that was the... Let me be honest. Let me be honest. If I called it Screw Attack's Death Battle, it would have been biased to all shit. Now I'm just...
Yeah, let's not start no wildfires.
Yeah, alright. No, but seriously though. This is debate time, or more along the lines of just... Well, yeah, it is a debate. We're just talking about it. Yeah, we're just basically talking about each other and going against some of the things, like, you know, opposing each other's opinions. And...
Wait, hold on. I have a question. Like, can we do this Phoenix Wright style? Like, somebody states their opinion, and if you have a counter argument,
Objection! Oh.
Yeah, objection. You know, if I had the editing skills, I would do that. Like, I would just like point I think Imani's gonna do the art for us now, because I don't think Doggy got the time to make like the extra more people into the shit.
Doggy's tired of our shit.
Yeah.
Can we just like edit out can we just edit out like a certain pink cat? Oh, I'm sorry.
Damn, dude, that's like I thought my joke was fucking like obvious. Jesus Christ.
Okay, so like if we're gonna for counter, like if we're gonna be like debating, I would like to bring the subject back up to Sonic Boom, because like I really like it.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. But like, all right. So debate time. We're gonna put people. I'm gonna be pitting people against each other. I want this shit clean. No below the bell hits. All right, motherfuckers. Because if you do some weak ass shit and start insulting, then your ass is immediately disqualified.
Oh shit. All right.
So you prove your points. You can joke around as much as it's allowed. You get to fuck around a bit, and I can sometimes intertwine to, like, you know, either stop the shit or make a cracker joke or two. So, first step. All right, let's put the fucking person who was against the game to begin with versus the person who's pretty optimistic. Red versus Red and Spade. The next one's gonna be Connor and Kaya. Connor,
why me? Connor? What
Because-
are we even arguing about?
fucking Connor doesn't likes the game in general. You like certain you dislike certain aspects about the game.
I just like the whole game. Stop.
Oh, you could just basically bounce about each other and like explain why one opinion is, I don't know, incorrect or some
no,
shit.
what the fuck is that? Oh my god.
That sounds like we're being a bit of a dick, but I can work with it.
Oh my god.
I like dick, I'm gay.
This whole point, look, there's a reason why I was gonna call it Death Battle Screw Attack's Death Battle, because it's biased.
Can we like pause for a second? Just for a second. I just want to bring up this fact. So,
go ahead.
if you heard like the sudden scream that I just did, it's because my cats left me a certain surprise like right next to my bed and I stepped on it.
Shit.
Oh,
No, it was not. No. It was another dead animal.
What the fuck?
And I stepped on it.
I mean, I
And I
heard that
wanna
that's
die.
a sign of affection or some shit like that.
They
Pyro-
dropped the mouse at the foot of my bed, and I want to cry.
Okay, yeah, it's a sign of affection.
All right. Well, so let's get this started. I'm ready.
All
I'm
right.
ready to debate.
All right. In this corner, weighing in, I don't know, he's probably lightweight to all shit, Redgo.
6,000 pounds.
And his special qualities are angry.
3 characters.
And in this corner, weighing in, okay, seriously, I have no fucking clue what you are. His special ability is young savage thug lit. No, I'm just kidding.
Deathful angry.
Oh fuck.
His special ability is getting people
Battleground on the hood.
Alright,
They're
so
both angry.
Red's an optimist towards Sonic Forces, and Spade dislikes a lot of things about Sonic Forces. Let the fight begin. Alright, who goes first? Or who would like to go first?
hold up, I
Go
can
ahead.
go
I'll let Ray go
first.
first.
Oh, no, Spade, you go first.
Okay.
Gentlemen's game.
Okay.
Oh,
so,
shit.
Remember,
say
you don't pull out all
objection.
your cards.
Wait.
Now-
Okay. One thing I gotta say though,
Shit,
you could
guys,
say
I gotta
ejection
go.
if you want to interfere somebody, what they say, like oppose
Guys,
what they thought. All right.
Yeah, wait a minute. So we're talking about Sonic Forces or just something in general?
Sonic
Hold up.
Forces and your genuine opinion, because considering this is the
Okay,
topic of it.
Hold up.
Okay,
I gotta
so-
go, guys.
Oh, you gotta go.
Yeah, dude. Cause like my cousin's getting on to me about being in this shit. So, oof.
Oh
Yeah.
fuck. Well, that's an early. Well, it was. That's Connor for you guys. He's a great man. He had to die because his cousin got on his ass.
Connor's sexy as fuck. Nigger shit.
Fucking.
Alright, see you later, bro.
Connor, you
Fucking-
sexy and smooth.
What the fuck? Goodbye.
No, okay. So I'll go
Dude.
first in regards to Sonic Forces. Like, I mean, it's like I said, it's not the worst game, but I mean, come on. I would say that, you know, you can't really ignore the things that are wrong. Like, yeah, there are some things that you can take from it. Like, yeah, I like this, and I like this. But overall, as a cohesive package, it's not really that great of a Sonic game. Like, I would argue that Lost World was better than this game. Like, to be honest.
Hold on.
That's just me.
I just added new rules. Hold on. Damn, this is really unprofessional.
Holy
But then
shit!
again-
More rules.
Then again, this whole podcast was never meant to be professional to begin with. Hold on. Okay, so we don't have
I'm crying.
so we don't fucking ramble on and on over dumb shit. What I did was, I went to go grab my phone to like set up a timer. It's gonna be 60 seconds, so each person can have an equal amount of time of explaining shit. But when the time goes up, I say stop, and then that's when you have to stop with your opinions.
Okay.
And anybody can interfere. When somebody says objection towards a thing, I'll stop the timer, so it doesn't immediately disqualify the person's time. So it won't just result into somebody just constantly saying objection, so they can stop you from saying your opinions.
Objection.
Okay.
So if one of you wants to say something about the opinion, just say objection. All right?
Okay.
You know how Phoenix Wright works, right, Red?
That's what maybe really not.
Oh my fucking god. Whatever. 60 seconds start. In the count of three, two, one, go, Spade.
Okay, so basically, I would argue as a cohesive package that Sonic Forces is not worth the money. Yeah, it's not $60 full of charge, but you have the wonky control scheme that you can get sometimes. The custom character controls accelerates to like 0 to 60 in a second. Like, take the second Infinite boss fight, for example. You're basically moving around and you gotta avoid the little cute shit to go to this alternate dimension, otherwise you're gonna get fucked up by a plethora of shit, you know? But the thing is that you can't really stop and be precise with it because you're walking like for a second and then all of a sudden he just speeds up at the speed of light. And it's not very consistent, and like it can lead to some platforming issues. Same thing goes with modern Sonic. Like, it's been like that ever since Sonic Colors. Like, I felt like the double jump was like way too stiff,
Damn,
and it
it
could
really
cause
do
some
be like that
platforming errors. And then Classic Sonic's just the worst part of the game. Like, why is he there? You know, like, to give or take, there are some good levels, and then there are some interesting things in the game that can be taken upon. Take that, develop on it, make it better. But as a cohesive package,
Stop.
there are other better games.
Damn, cuz, you got fucking like 10 cans of fucking soda in your fucking room? What's up?
Jesus Christ!
How much shit have you? Well, then again, to be fair, me and Sean have been like fucking like me and him been rambling about how we we dislike certain aspects about fucking Forces. So to be fair, this isn't a surprise to me at this point.
Jesus.
All right, I'm a fair man, so it's time for the anger bomb, the fucking the
Krakatoa.
I'm trying. Krakatoa. The fucking. Fuck. I'm trying to think of like titles for this dude. Like, I'm trying to think of titles that can work with like red and also anger. The red magma. The angry burst. The shout.
That
The-
one red.
The shouting. The shouting hedgehog.
whatever you
It's the one,
prefer.
the only.
Okay.
Redgo. Now go. And a count of 3. 3, 2, 1. Start.
Okay, so with all that being said, I still like Sonic Forces. As far as the control, as far as like, actually no wait no, I'm gonna like address like the fact that you said about the boss fight. Infinite's boss battles are dumb. Like Infinite is kind of still weak compared to what he said. Like he just says something about like, oh hey, like I'm not weak or something like that. First, excuse me. First boss battle, you homing attack him. Second boss battle, you can use the asteroid whisk, you can kill him in like 40 seconds. The third boss battle, you just kind of still homing attack him. And it's like the bosses in that game are not very creative, but it's like I still like and appreciate what the game did. I know it's very linear. I know it may like seem like a little off-putting, but I still like what they were trying to do. It's like a game where you could just kind of like tear your brain off and just like sit down and relax and like to play the game. It's kind of like what I do with most games, where it's like I want to relax and try to have a good day, where it's like you could just tear your brain off and just like have fun. You may not get a really good level, but sometimes you might get some pretty good ones, and I do have to like give Sonic Forces credit to where like where credit is due. Where it's just like there are things that I did, but there are things that I
Stop.
did which I like. I'm not a fast speaker like Spades. So I can say.
All right. Since I'm not a cheap bitch or I'm a cunt. All right, you get extra 30 seconds. Go.
Boy, what the fuck?
Yes. All right. To be fair, okay. So essentially, I might give Sonic Forces a little bit credit than it may quote unquote deserve, but I still thought it was a pretty fun game, and I think I'm gonna like it when I enjoy it, when I play it, or do whatever. No, I can't play because I'm a PC. That's it.
Damn, couldn't even finish the 30 seconds. The shit was all the way till 19 seconds. All right.
No, it's fine. It's like I can't. I thought like I sometimes like when I'm just rambling or doing something stupid, then I can just speak fast, but I can't really speak fast. Like, look, my mind thinks faster than like okay. When it comes to stuff like this, I think faster than I say stuff. So it's like, yeah.
It's understandable. Like I said, I came prepared and that I was ready. So I.
Hey, so like, since I don't want this to be to just a fucking giant 1v. Hold on. A 1v.
A 1v1?
No, a 1v5 because Red's the only optimist in this fucking call. I think we're just gonna end it here. The next rap matchup is probably going to be me and somebody else who's going to be an optimist to some other things in the fucking when we relate to a different topic. That's if I can think of a good topic to speak of currently. Shit, we've done it all the way till 1 hour. We've made the 1 hour mark. So there's that.
Lots of ads.
Lots of ads. Can't wait to get the ads. Hold up. We need to
We're
go
beating
learn how to put the
PewDiePie.
ads. We need to beat PewDiePie. Now to do what Rice Gum did and put like fucking 20 minutes of just a pure black screen.
Oh,
I want to be gay because you're fucked and I want to save her. It's cool.
Oh.
Just smash me.
All right, so that was the end. Well, now that we explained our opinions, I gotta say one thing real quick. Ren knows that I shit on the custom character a lot. To be fair, I wasn't always this aggressive towards the custom character. I was very happy. In fact, I was like looking for a reason, like looking up shit like, oh, is there gonna be a custom character or some shit like that? I even gave up the idea of like there might be something like that. I think it's just more me. I'm kind of disappointed how he's been treated. That's why, maybe because I'm so spoiled by fucking Xenoverse or any other created character type of stories. I honestly think that Forces could have been good had they not had they not do all this shitty stuff that made the game pretty bad in my opinion. But I mean, I'm not gonna say that the stages don't look good because the game looks beautiful. I'm not gonna deny that. Mainly because the Hedgehog engine is the best engine out there. Don't disown it, faggots. But like I said, I'm an Unleash fan to all shit. All right, I fucking wish they brought back the Hedgehog engine. But then again, that shit was only made for the fucking Xbox. Still though, I think the game could have been better than what it was. But do I hate it as much as I think about it? Because I hear your opinions and I'm thinking about it. I mean, okay, so compared to my original opinion, the game is mediocre. It's all right, I guess. I guess I can like, I'll enjoy it a little bit. Excuse me, sorry. What I was saying though is that, if they fix some things like story, comedy, boss battles, etc., then the game would be an actual good game.
Did he just mute himself? Oh.
I've been coughing, so someone continue off of me because I'm coughing like hell.
So, anyways, since we seem to be drawn to the close of this podcast, I just gotta say, yo, I appreciate your time for listening to me ramble about a fucking blue hedgehog that wears some sneakers that looks like he got it from fucking Payless and can apparently run faster than the speed of sound or some shit. You know, I appreciate you guys taking some time to listen to me. And overall, my opinions on Sonic Forces still stands. It's not the greatest thing out there. Sonic Lost World, hell, I even think Sonic Blue Fire and Ice could possibly find some more enjoyment in, to be honest. But like, but then again, it's not a bad game. It's not as bad as Sonic 06. And if you really want to know how the game is, just give it a shot for yourself. And yeah, at least like it's $40, so yeah, it's not that bad. If it was $60, then I would have been like, yeah, but no, it's $40, so it's not too bad.
Don't refund the game.
Yeah, but there's also that, and overall, it's just like there's better games. But I'm not really worried about what Sonic
Go play something else.
I'm more worried about what Sonic is going to become in the future. And I would say I'm gonna sound like a complete fanboy, but you know what? Fuck it. Give the Adventure series another shot. People know 3D Sonic the Hedgehog and Sonic Adventure 1 and Adventure 2 is not as bad as people say they are. Sega, Takashi Iizuka. Don't go around saying, we don't want to push the series back because that's what makes Sonic the Hedgehog bad. You did it with Sonic Mania and it got good review scores, so...
And you're trying to do this shit with Forces. Don't fucking be a hypocritical faggot.
So Iizuka, like, get off your nostalgic high horse and actually give Adventure another shot. Who knows? I'm not saying Adventure 3 is going to be the thing that saves the franchise, but give it a shot. You never know. You won't know how good or bad Adventure 3 is until you try it. And anyway, if you guys liked it, be sure to punch that. No, I'm kidding. But
fucking Kobani 4-5, or as you like to call Kobana nigga.
Yeah, Kobana nigga 456 here. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening, wonderful night. See you all. Peace. Republic of Spades. And take care.
All right, so that thanks to our fucking thanks to our discount Kobani man. Let's just go to let's just end this off with the different people. All right, so we got, you already know, fucking discount Kobani man over here.
Dick Rider.
We got fucking Red.
I'm not
man.
new.
Of course, I'm fucking staying the members. You fucking faggot.
No, you said oh, let's start with the new people. I'm not new. I've been editing this stuff the whole time.
Shut up! I'm fucking dying of cough, and you decide to yell at me.
I'm dying of cough. That's great grammar.
Fucking cough is gonna kill me. A cough is gonna fucking kill me. Ah! But still though, I'm your host, Lord Louis, and most likely will be deceased because of this fucking sick. Well, I'm not even sick. I just have a terrible cough. I most likely would be dead by this cough. These are the crew. Fucking
Killer Pie Star.
Killer Kai Star. Fucking Captain Magma, Krakatoa over there. Fucking Red. Fucking no, that's a SpongeBob character. He's the one who goes Krakatoa.
No, that is.
He's the one that Squidward dressed up at with like a fucking volcano head.
Krakatoa, and like getting interrupted. Totally not a sex joke.
I mean, okay, so the girl who was with us but had to leave was Lee. The same guy goes to Connor, who had to leave. Doggy wasn't with us today because of, I don't know, she wasn't around. Fucking, oh god, thanks a lot, Connor, because now I have to definitely edit that shit. We had our new members. Well, not new members, not yet at least. You guys tell me Oh fuck this call. If you liked Spade and Tom and Moshi Moshi, tell me if you like them and type in the comments saying you want me to keep them as new members.
Yes,
These were the
absolutely, because my name Corey Kinshi. Now I'm playing.
fucking
Shut up.
fucking
Off-brand.
Kabani Etika ass motherfucker.
Before we end,
Fucking off-brand Etika.
End it.
No,
What were you
I
gonna
have
say,
a
Tom?
question for Spade. I have a question for Spade.
Yes.
What the fuck is Payless?
What?
My God.
Okay, I seriously gonna end this. See you guys. Otherwise, this shit's gonna be longer than what it's supposed to be. All right. This was our episode after being in a fucking hiatus for such a long time, for me being a lazy cunt. See you guys.